Greetings everyone, and Grade here with another Runner 3 replay. Spawn on the right side as the yellow allies. We have Drozd. Spawn on the left side as the purple Soviets. We have Amaranth. I think I actually got that one right. Amaranth. Amaranth. Like, how do you spell up this word? Amaranth or Amaranth? Sometimes I look at the words and wonder, how do you pronounce them? Then again, I can't really pronounce even the basic words. We do have a boot camp pulling out some infantry and dogs to help secure this oil derrick. Engineer, of course, has deployed. Two doggies rushing on forward. We have a Soviet play here, so we may see some bears. Bears going in for the oil derrick. There is a opportunity. The dogs are going pretty far forward. Two more dogs are actually coming in the escort. There was actually a possible opportunity if he pushed too far. If the nope, there is actually still a possibility there. The all depends. The barks came on first, so the better bark there. Though granted, when there's two dogs there, the roar has to hit both of them there in order for the engineer to be run down and eaten. RA3 Elite Apocalypse tanks can, or Elite Apocalypse tanks can one-shot infantry? Is that with both shots, one shot? With one barrel or two barrels? I think a heroic one should be able to kill them off with one shot, but I'm not sure if at what point if both barrels or one barrel. Because that doesn't make a difference, because the longer animation times is important. Over here, we've got the dogs running around. Does spot, of course, the reactor. Overthrow threatening. We do have a conscript inside the civilian garrison, which should be able to engage any dogs that runs on by. And the order deck actually not been claimed by the Soviet players, so it's going to be a bit light. You may get out a bullfrog and load up engineer into it. In fact, there may be an engineer loading back at the bullfrog. It's hard to say. This infantry unit has been paused. I don't think it's been overpriced. There's the engineer. Better go safe, but there is a dog camping the oil derrick because he sees it uncaptured. Some close quarter combat here. Soviets, it all depends on the engagement. In this engagement, peacekeepers win. In open field, peacekeepers win. If a conscript actually gets out of the building and throws some Molotovs, then a conscript can win. And probably still die while at it. We do have a single Apollo here ready to engage the engineer if it gets redeployed. Cryocopter charging forward. We'll be trying to freeze down this ore refinery, or nope, going for the ore collector. The bullfrog is here, getting some great damage into the cryocopter. Over here, we do have, looks like the dogs do take out the bear. As the conscripts do get para dropped forward, we may see a dog bark there. Nope, he just decides to bite them before they even get their gun up. This ore collector has been chilled a bit. Maybe we could go for a flak cannon in that region to help protect it. That would be expensive investment. To have a dog down south. As the Vindicators start charging on forward, may get a bomb off or two on somewhere. And now the oil derrick is going to be destroyed. He's not, since his opponents won't be unable to secure it. He doesn't want to make sure it doesn't get secured whatsoever. He could claim it for himself, but I guess he rather prefers it. Ooh, way too early. He misjudged, and now the oil derrick will stay up. Frozen, but up. Looks like the conscript does go down there. And looks like the conscript does go down, but in return, the Terror drone cleans up the dog. Apparently, Terror drones are better at biting than dogs. MCV is shrunken, moving his way forward. We know about the Cryocopter, so he has shrunken his MCV. Maybe eyeing for this ore refinery as well. He does to clean up these garrisons. Probably filled with just a pair of conscripts. Yep, there's at least one conscript in that one. Actually, seems like almost two. Over here, the garrison is now under siege by the Blaze-Lock Javelin. Yep, and just conscript in each of them. This garrison can be reclaimed. And the garrison will fully go down there. Conscript does get gunned down as well. Up north, we do have the dog being cleaned up by the Terror Drone as the Twin Blades cleaning up the Oil Derrick itself. A lot of escort here, including Hammer Tank as well, so a very well-rounded composition by the Soviet player. And the Oil Derrick does go down. I think I saw a cash bounty on the Oil Derrick as well, getting a nice little 500 credits in return. The civilian structure will get decrewed there. A lot of civilian structures in the center of the map. May see some more conscripts and peacekeepers there. Maybe a flak trooper as well to help engage those cryocopters. But big insertion here. We do have two hammer tanks. Does throw a cryoblast there. May get himself a... Doesn't get the Terror Drone. Will get himself the Bullfrog. He does not crush the Peacekeeper in time. The shrunken hammer tank saved or allowed him to kill the Bullfrog. Power plant does go down, and these guys are far too outside the line. And Javelin Troop does take out the Terror Drone there after taking out one of the Peacekeepers. And the Hydrofoil does take out the Twin Blades as well. So the Soviet players lost all of his force there. There's 3 Apollos now flying about, ready to engage all of the aircraft. And more Twin Blades now being deployed on out. Up north, we do have double naval expansion coming out of the Soviet players, going for a lot of income. And he has claimed the Oil Derrick, so he will have more income than his opponent. This one has been claimed. We've got a lot of naval forces here, 2 Hydrofoils. 2 Dolphins, a 3rd Hydrofoil. That's where this naval seaport is. And we do have a testicle here, but the Hydrofoils, of course, have access to the weapon jammer. But a blue sub is also in the region. And those ultra torpedoes can quickly kill off one of those forces before he gets above water to be jammed. And he does get shot off there, taking out one of the Hydrofoils. That's a pretty big win there. Remaining 2 Hydrofoils. Needs a flak gun to engage that Cryocopter, if not a Bullfrog. Super Ultra Torpedoes completely whiffs the shot. One of the Dolphins do go down. The sound of torpedoes hitting Dolphins. So it looks like the Elite Apocalypse cannot kill Peacekeepers in one shot. I assume that's what you're referring to. Hydrofoils maintain the distance away from the Okula sub. Waiting for his next Ultra Torpedo, likely. Trying to avoid being shrunken or jammed. And we got another Okula sub here, but does get shrunken. Maybe Ultra Torpedoes right there. Prospect is quite wounded as well. It's hard to say what he did there. Looks like there is a flak tower here, and it looks like it does go down there to this multi-gunner IFV right there. Or maybe it's the Apollo tank. I'm not sure actually what actually went down there. I think that was a Cryocopter. The garrison does get destroyed there by the Javelin troops as the Peacekeeper or Conscript is going to finds a new home right there. We have 3 Bullfrogs there, 4 Hammer tanks, and 1 Terror Drone. Nice, well-rounded force. He's able to deal with the multi-gunner turret with the Leech Beam. We'll have a bit of trouble versus all the Javelin troops, however. Cool Sub are going for some harassment over here. he has repaired up his forces, and with the naval seaport here, he's able to repair up the prospector. For cryocoppers, quite a bit. Javelin troops all across those garrisons.
It's Lord Agion.
And it does shrink down all of the bullfrogs. They do have good damage output, but he will get overwhelmed, unable to deal with those crowdcoppers in time. And does not get the kill off of that hammer tank in time. Gets unfrozen at the last possible moment. Cruel subs engage, I think with ultra torpedoes, engaging one of those units. The garrison's now getting under siege by the javelin troops, and the conscript will find a new home. 6 feet under. Peacekeeper's eyeing for the garrison himself. That conscript will go forward with Molotov because with too many peacekeepers there to get quickly gunned down. Actually, they're still shooting the ground right there. He must have forced fire the ground there, maybe. Great damage there on the crowdcoppers. 2 of them goes down. Third and fourth one gets severely wounded, at least the third one. And now Twin Blade's going to be cleaning up that garrison. Oh, a lot of these hammer tanks got shrunk down. He has really good shrink micro, apparently. He's going to need a bit more of a defensive line. Crowdcoppers are going to save him for so long. Looks like he may be eyeing artillery line of ultra torpedoes. Looks like the assault destroyer has one out, which will absorb a lot of shots. I'm not sure how many ultra torpedoes it can actually withstand. I think 3 sets of ultra torpedoes can finish him off. I don't know why. Okay, he does get freezes down the flak tower. He needs to split his fire, keep one of the flak tower because he just recently froze it. That flak tower should be unfrozen. Does not get unfrozen. I thought it was going to get unfrozen in time. And does fire some vertical torpedoes though. No ultra torpedo. Fire another set of torpedoes there and does dive in time, but severely wounded. Oh, thank you for the follow, Menno Frohan. It does go ahead and throw us on toxins right there and gets another peacekeeper there. And the destroyer does go down. No, not destroyer, a cool sub. Looks like all of the cool subs may have went down or they've been withdrawn. They may have been withdrawn up north, but maybe they actually all went down. Let's actually see them. We do have the weapon jammers coming forward. Of course, weapon jamming. Able to quickly freeze down these structures. A lot of cryocoppers here. I don't know why. Every time I've recently been saying the word ultra torpedoes, I think of. Are you familiar with the show Jimmy Neutron? Ultra Lord! Sorry. Old times. We do have the hydrofoils pushing the way forward with the heroic Riptide and the 5-6 cryocoppers. A lot of firepower there. Does find one of the hydrofoils there with the ultra torpedoes. And he needs to keep the Riptide alive in order to shoot down all of the structures that may go down. And actually, he's going to take himself, claim himself a cool sub. He has another set of ultra torpedoes there. He's going to decide to stay there, engage. Is very good. Doesn't shrink in time, doesn't freeze in time there. And with that one hydrofoil, he can turn on the weapon jammer and protect his Riptide. But now got another cool sub there. It gets ultra torpedoes onto the hydrofoil. Trying to rebuild the naval expansion here. A lot of flak cannons, so there's not enough. Well, there's 0 hydrofoils remaining, so not enough weapon jammers for any of them, even for one of them. And the Apollos find a great engagement against the MiGs, but they may. Nope, they will not find the bullfrogs. We do got a cryo blast being deployed now. He will freeze the flak tower in time. Very nice. We'll freeze that as well. Sells that off. Riptide has been shrunken, trying to charge forward in order to break the shatters of these frozen units. He's pulled this parts off the line. Hope he has a crusher crane to crush it for our cash rebate. And it's going to be charging forward, and there's nothing, there's no Tesla coils to take it out. And we'll find a good angle there. Though it is shrunken, we'll deal a lot less damage there. And Will can fire some torpedoes off through the ore mine. Apparently he can fire some torpedoes through there. And the Terradrone will snare him, gain the kill. Snare him a kill. Down south we got an aircraft carrier, assault destroyer for escort, and a hydrofoil for also escort. Here comes the first sortie. And we do have an Iron Curtain being deployed now by Magenta, which could be very useful. And now we've got Athena cannons being deployed out as well, including a Mirage tank. I think I just saw an upgrade happen there. I think he may have got the Crusher Grinder Treads upgrade. And he does kill the Terradrone there with the Force Fire attack there with the Dolphin, which I believe is technically classified as an exploit. Though that may no longer be viewed as an exploit. I just remember from a Cyber video that I think it was at the time classified as an exploit. We do have something called on in, maybe satellites, but maybe... Oh, it is a Desolator airstrike, a basic one, which will melt the Dolphin. The conscripts are managed to get chewed up by the multi-gunner turret as these forces are pushing the way forward. And the assault destroyer does not eat those shots. It was not, the aircraft carrier does manage to take those ultra torpedoes. And that aircraft carrier is exposed. He's going to go forward. A pair of torpedoes may be all he needs. He does take out the aircraft carrier foolishly, and now Kudo subs engaging from all sides, able to collapse upon. He needs to turn off that black hole armor and start having that gun firing, because I don't think that black hole armor is going to net him all too much. And plus, he just needs to fire ultra torpedoes, and yep, doesn't have to aim when it has its own black hole to suck it in. Assault destroyers are now starting to fall back away from these Akula subs. Lots of cryocopters here. Battle Lab has been deployed out, which is not needed for Iron Curtain. It does sell off the Battle Lab because it's expensive. Get the cash bounty because it's going to lose it anyways. Not cash bounty, the sell-off. Does manage to save his base from going down. They got the cryocopters, could potentially start engaging over here. Another flak cannon being deployed now. A lot of flak cannons. And here comes the Ultra Torpedo Barrage, getting some great damage all across the line. Some good damage there on the Assault Destroyer and on the seaport. As they're going to activate the black hole armor, trying to save the seaport from going down. And a lot of cryocopters are here, which can quickly shrink down all these Akula subs if they start engaging. And even though the torpedoes may fire off before they get shrunk, the damage reduction applies immediately on projectiles in air. It fires off the Iron Curtain there. It has 4 invulnerable Akula subs there. The other 2 trash just sort of save back a bit. You won't be able to be frozen there. Was that a tear off there? I must be mistaken. This off the ore refinery. The satellite should manage to finish up the seaport. And seaport does go down. The Iron Curtain has worn off. And there is a number of multi-gunner turrets here, but they of course cannot shoot into the water. Ultra torpedoes have been fired. Get some great hits there on that multi-gunner turret, but one of the Akula subs do go down, and the multi-gunner turret will stay alive, could repair it up. One of the cool subs is fully heroic. Maybe we should just start keeping them right here and have a firing line against this location for his ultra torpedoes. We do have 7 chopper VXs deployed on out, which should be quite a lot of damage support there. There's a flat cannon here, which can get frozen to all nearby cryocoppers here. It does get frozen there. It gets sold off. Both those structures get sold off before it gets destroyed. And now the MiGs coming in for air support. Able to get some great damage there, but there's a lot of anti-aircraft here as well. 2 MiGs go down there. The Apollos, or the Athena cannons, are here, perhaps just for heavy defense. Right now, there's still these 2 base refining locations, though this one has been destroyed multiple times, but this one has been harvested for quite some time. 1,200 remaining as opposed to the 1,500, so they've both been harvesting for quite some time. Apollos will go down to, or will take out the MiGs, as more ships being deployed by the Crusher Crane and by the MCV. We do have another battle app deployed now. We got one flat cannon here, takes out the super reactor. The flat cannon is still operational, but there's nothing to stop these 50 cals. Over here, we do got mass assault here by twin blades and bullfrogs. And that missile barrage will take out the last of those multi-gunner IFVs, as there's a large number of cryocopters and Apollos here. The only thing here is are the Riptides, which that Bullfrog did distract for a bit of time, but once this Black Iron goes down, the cryocopters can come on in and freeze everything. Over here, the twin blades get some great damage in there. We've got a Desolator Airstrike to clear out the garrison. And more multi-gunner IPs getting engaged in the bullfrogs. Got a Terror Drone infection right there. But Twin Blades are still very much alive. He does take out his own Terror Drone there. Another Twin Blade does go down, but the Soviet forces started being cleaned up. Loses both of this infrastructure. That's a lot of loss. Hopefully sold that in time. Hammer tanks are here. Takes out the Riptides. On the right side, we've got these power plants receiving a bit of fire. And we do got the Apollos getting some good damage there onto the MiGs once again. MiGs do find some hits there onto those cryocopters, but now they're falling back. We need to get back for repairs, which are right next to the airfield. We do have cash bounty there, and does get a small refund for those bullfrogs. Soviet player's been working on much more income his opponent, but overall his opponent has been very cost effective with his engagements. Got a lot of cool subs here, which can be useful. Looks like setting up a formation ready for a firing line, I believe. Or maybe going for an actual assault. Satellites coming on as well. Looks like you use it to call in some protocol air support or off-map support. Or space support. And now that infrastructure is severely wounded, the aircraft carrier may fire the EMP missile off. We do have these Athena cannons in the region as well. At this point, it's best to set up a ultra torpedo firing line. And we do have a prospector here. Is he going to try a turret push? Or is no turrets selected? And the prospector immediately gets spotted. Nowhere near done for completion. Down south we do have, looks like a ultra torpedo firing line. And doing some great damage there. Takes out 2 of the twin blades with those missiles. Still got quite a bit of anti-aircraft there. We do have this ore refinery slowly being repaired on up. Prospectors does go down there to the twin blades. The Apollo's under advance, but he should have plenty of escort here. And the motor gunner IFV is actually the one that gets a kill there as the Dolphins push their way forward and sacrifice that bullfrog in order to hold off the Dolphins, keep them away from those other 2. So he was not exactly confident with this one twin blade quickly taking them out and not be destroyed as well. Apollo's making their advance. There's a lot of anti-aircraft here, so. And we do have a Stingray here, but there is a hydrofoil for a weapon jam.
Get away from my Stingray!
And that electric burst was very, very small and underwhelming. Does get the sell-off there in time, and hydrofoil does come forward. We've got Desolator Airstrike, Cryogen coming on in as well. There's still one more Stingray, a handful of twin blades, as well as some bullfrogs. He has sold off his MCV there. Frozen Combat Engineer could be very useful. And Magenta's oil derrick still alive now. Look at the mini-map. All those forces that do get shrunken, we do have the twin blades still alive. Flak cannon being deployed on now. Crusher plane still alive as well. Another Dolphin does go down. The heroic one is still alive. And the flak cannon will likely go up as the shrunken Stingray does come forward. Does get the kill there on one of the hydrofoils there. Bullfrogs are shrunken and chilled and frozen. Heroic Dolphin's still alive and getting healed on up. And there goes all those Apollos, which actually is quite fortunate. And now here comes the multiple bullfrogs charging down those cryocopters. And the engineer in the middle of all that is just lounging around, literally. The balls on that man. So we do have another battle lab being deployed now, a third battle lab this entire game, I believe. Now the Kulu subs pushing the way forward. They have appear to be repaired. This is too far to see. Is another? There is a second crusher crane actually. And now the guy reconnaissance overflight and getting great vision there should spot the battle lab. And here comes another missile barrage, or Ultra Lord torpedoes. Ultra Torpedo Lord. That's probably better. Sounds better. He is also the purple color as well. Flak cannon does get cancelled there. Ore refinery may get cancelled as well. He does pause it right there. And cancels it there now. Sputnik will be destroyed. Doesn't sell it off. Sells it off for 89 credits. Does have good numbers. 2 Stingrays, not a huge number. 2 hydrofoils can jam them. Tesla coil being, or no, that's another flak cannon being deployed and out. Maybe it would have been better to go a bit more tighter here to have overlapping fields of fire. But that would have worked well more coverage being pushed out farther. Gotta be careful with this one here. It's not in a good position. Though, if he does throw some ultra torpedoes in the back of that one, at least they will have had its heroic so it can self-repair itself. Takes out the hydrofoil there. The cool subs will manage. Oh no, there goes the heroic one. Does lose the heroic one. Flat cannons do get some shots there on the crowdcopters. Stingrays. They can't one-shot the dolphins when they're shrunken down like that. And that flat cannon does get some more pot shots off. Bullfrogs do claim a kill there, makes them out in the mix well, but the hydrofoils are going to be zoning them out, does shoot them down there. Down south, you still have the Akula subs facing the wrong directions, flying before a firing line once again. Depleted. This one's also depleted, and the north also depleted. So all the income for the allied player is depleted, and likely he has got a crush there on the engineer. So he went for a capture onto the ore refinery. Very good try. And over here, let's see. This is depleted. This does still have 11,000. So that is the only ore. Nope, this ore refinery still is maxed out. So there's 2 ore refineries that still have ore in them. Both of them more likely to be secured by the Soviets. Right now, both of them are on 4 refinery income. But likely the Soviet player has gone for mass production while the Allied player has gone for ore purifiers, or what's called free market. Or free trade. Is it free market or free trade? I forget the exact name. I thought of ore purifiers, but that's regular too. Let's go ahead and get some snares there on the Riptide. And some black hole armors there to interrupt some fire. And here comes some bombing runs there. EMP missile does connect. So 1 dreadnought has been deployed on out, and likely will be picked off by the aircraft carrier. Does manage to survive right there. Crash best full back there. 1 dreadnought missile does connect. Here comes the torpedoes. Good damage all across the line, but the aircraft carrier can be repaired. More bombing runs there. Dreadnoughts 1 shot away from death. Might as well pull it back with Crusher Cranes. Might as well save it. Also, another Ultra Torpedo does connect as the turret drone does get picked off there by the aircraft carrier. Up north, we've got the cryocopters flying about with the support of a elite hydrofoil there, but only flak towers remain. So this is one less fire refining location there for the Soviet player. And maybe a good idea to send a single dolphin up there to clean up all of these flak cannons, because right now that's more or less a minefield for aircraft. Does clean up those ore collectors, very nice, and that's going to be very expensive to replace since both sides are down to minimal income. The oil derrick has been cleaned up, so the Soviet player no longer has that. And here comes the Ultra Torpedo line. The Ultra Torpedo Lords are firing. Some conscripts there. He's selling off these flak cannons for some income. Very nice. You can keep the wounded there up there if he wants to dissuade aircraft. Heroic Dolphin does jump up in the air. A soldier destroyer can, of course, shoot into the water. It does get snared a little bit there, allowing Akula subs some time to escape. Terror drone being pursued. Does escape those bombs. Do we have a handful of bullfrogs here now to shoot down those incoming aircraft? Here comes the ultra torpedoes. Get some good damage there. Getting some hits there onto the multi-gunner turret's more useful since he has to spend money to repair that. Oh yeah, I hear my heater coming on. I probably should turn that off so we don't have any additional background noise. My apologies. Oh, nice little stop move there. Still a bit of a slow game, honestly. Mostly just both sides poking around. It is entertaining. I always more of a strategic thinker, seeing what each side has done. But it looks like Magenta is going to try to crack his opponent using a vacuum imploder. That's going to be very handy indeed. Surgical Strike plus crowd shot. You did use the cash bounty there to get some income. Very nice. Or some rebate. And we do have a lot of veterans on these multi-gunner turrets. Very nice. It has nicely patterned. Veteran, elite, veteran, elite, veteran. And we do still have this Athena tank deployed on now. I remember him deploying one earlier out on the field. That may be the same one because these Athena cannons have been in a defensive position this entire time. The Athena or the prison tank, Mirage tank. Ah, there it is. It was right there. Sometimes it can be quite hard to tell. Nobody expects a lamppost in the middle of the road. We do have these assault destroyers making their advance. Two of them have the black hole armor engaged, trying to absorb the shots away from the aircraft carrier. And getting some good hits there onto the garrison, which were likely just all loaded up with some conscripts, or a conscript. It's going for the refinery location now. There's a single flak cannon here, which won't be able to do all too much. Getting some good damage there on the refinery. He needs to push on forward, and here comes that maybe a magnetic singularity. Yes, I guessed correctly. And now it's exposed away from the assault destroyers. Now's the time for the Akula subs to pick it off. Now's the time for the Akula sub to pick it off. Because both sides are just not reacting whatsoever. Darn. The refining location has been cleaned on up. These prospectors have been rebuilt, and more bomb runs onto the other refinery. He's trying to hold out for the vacuum imploder. Maybe a good idea to deploy a vacuum imploder onto the naval forces rather than on any infrastructure. Another refinery does go down. He still has this one, so he has a pitiful amount of income remaining. We do have this construction yard. He needs to actually push forward towards this one that has actual cash. Maybe sell off some other infrastructure, but that infrastructure could hold... Oh, wait, that is an abandoned carrier. Natasha has deployed on the field, which is great for taking on the heavy fleet. It may be a good idea to deploy out an engineer to go out to sea to claim that aircraft carrier for his own purposes, because having EMP missiles to engage these assault destroyers can be very, very handy. Can Black Hole Armor redirect a EMP missile? The assault destroyers are taking some shots at the Akula subs, and as long as the Black Hole Armor is in the region and all the crowd covers for quick shrinks, there's not much he can do. But probably not a good idea to actually freeze, or shrinking them is a bit of a pro and con. They can escape faster, but actually going for a freeze rather than a shrink would probably be a bit better. Carriers, oh, perfect. I was going to say he's going to try to claim it, but looks like he's going to go ahead and destroy it, which is probably a better option. I think the Akula subs are going to throw some missiles in there. Or torpedoes. If Athena cannons firing some shots there onto these Akula subs, let's get a kill there onto the ore refinery, killing it off. These forces are starting to make their way forward, starting to ready to engage the Soviet fleet. And now the naval dockyard is being frozen. Does get frozen there. Maybe a good time to sell it off. Oh. That was the vacuum imploder. He actually dodged the vacuum imploder, and seeing he missed the vacuum imploder, he decides to surrender. Well, I suppose he was waiting for the vacuum imploder to try to get to kill the fleet. Since he was unable to do that, it was game over. This is Adam Grade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay.